This episode brought to you by TAUMMHOMS, which is a natural sleep and sound healing portal helping people globally to get to sleep faster and stay asleep longer through TAUMMHOMS.com. That's www.TAUMMHOMS.com.
It's My Right Stuff with your host, Grammy Award-winning record producer and inventor, Toby Wright. My Right Stuff is brought to you by TAUMMHOMS, a natural sleep and sound healing portal available globally at www.taummmhoms.com. That's www.TAUMMHOMS.com. And I'm your announcer, Grinnin' Barrett. Here's Toby.
Hey, I'm Lord Toby Wright, and this is My Right Stuff News. All right, well, welcome to the My Right Stuff News. Let's kick it off with the music news. Well, ZZ Top have sold their entire music interest to music firm BMG and investment house KKR. The rock group, which consisted of guitarist Billy Gibbons, drummer Frank Beard, and vocalist bassist Dusty Hill, until his death in July, looked at the deal as a way of continuing their legacy. Well, since forming in 1969, they have sold over 50 million albums worldwide and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004. The deal is just the latest blockbuster agreement between a legendary rock act, investors, and music firms. Well, according to reports, Bruce Springsteen recently sold his back catalog to Sony for $500 million, as we reported here last week on My Right Stuff News. Well, Madonna's back in the studio and will be releasing new music next year. The 63-year-old hitmaker teased her 17 million Instagram followers by letting them know she was in the studio alongside Sway Lee, Lauren D'Elia, amongst others, as they recorded surprises for the new year. She captioned her post, "So great to be back in the studio making music again. Surprises in the new year." Look forward to those. Well, the Pretenders' Chrissie Hynde will perform a set of classic Bob Dylan songs, as well as some of her own songs, during a special live stream event premiering December 26th. Tickets for Chrissie Hynde and Company Sing Bob Dylan and Other Songs are on sale now at veeps.com. That's VEEPS.com. Following its premiere, the concert will be available to watch on demand through January 3rd. And finally, what would the news be without something about Metallica? Well, Metallica played the first of two shows celebrating its 40th anniversary, Friday, December 17th and Sunday the 19th at San Francisco's Chase Center. We are grateful that you have been along with us for 40 years, and we are so happy that you're still here after all this time, said frontman James Hetfield. It still blows my mind because we were created to do this. He also confirmed after a montage was shown that featured some of Metallica's former members that they would not be making guest appearances at the show. Well, hopefully you got to see the former Metallica members live at some point in your lives, and we were blessed to have them in the band, said James. Well, on to film and TV. The Book of Boba Fett premieres on Disney Plus next week. On the sands of Tatooine, bounty hunter Boba Fett and mercenary Fennec Shand navigate the galaxy's underworld and fight for Jabba the Hutt's old territory. Well, the Matrix series is back. To find out if his reality is a physical or mental construct, Mr. Anderson, a.k.a. Neo, will have to choose to follow the White Rabbit once more. If he's learned anything, it's that choice, while an illusion, is still the only way out of, or into, the Matrix. Neo already knows what he has to do, but what he doesn't know yet is that the Matrix is stronger, more secure, and more dangerous than ever before. The Matrix Resurrection is now on HBO Max. Check it out. Well, The Kingsman is a spy action thriller and the third installment in the Kingsman series. One man must race against time to stop history's worst tyrants and criminal masterminds as they get together to plot a war that could wipe out millions of people and destroy humanity. And that's in theaters now, so take a date. Well, in the world of sports, in the Premier League this weekend, first place Manchester City plays Leicester City. Liverpool plays Leeds, and Chelsea takes on Aston Villa. And there's plenty of college football bowl games this weekend, going through the next week into next weekend, so enjoy all those. They'll be fun. In tech and gear news now. The DJI FPV is the company's first-person view drone that you fly using a VR-looking headset and a remote controller. It's designed for videographers and cinematographers, as it has many of the same video shooting capabilities, like 4K at 60 frames per second with excellent image stabilization on a 150-degree wide-angle lens as the Maverick Air 2, but not quite the same photo capturing prowess as its higher-end drones. The big differences are that the DJI FPV can fly very fast, up to 87 miles an hour, and 0 to 62 in just over 2 seconds. And you need the goggles to fly it. It's priced at $12.99 for your late Christmas shoppers, so go check them out. And you can find DJI here. And that's all the news that's making the news, December 24th, 2021. This will be our last installment here at My Right Stuff for the year 2021. We hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas and a safe and a very Happy New Year. Now, over to you, my lord. All right. Well, hey, welcome back to My Right Stuff and Merry Christmas. This is a film, TV, sports, music, adventure, and inspirational lifestyle podcast. I'm your host, Lord Toby Wright, and today we have a very, very special show for you. Well, since it's December 24th, the day before Christmas, I thought it'd be a cool idea to do a little Christmas special. Today we have guest appearances from Frame 42, a kick-ass band out of Michigan, who, if you haven't heard them before, you certainly should. They have amazing songs featuring 2 female lead singers. And, we'll also be graced with a special visit from Stone Senate, a former guest and a kick-ass rock and roll band out of Nashville, Tennessee. That should be exciting. But before I introduce them, I want to thank you, all of our supporters who stream, download, watch, and support My Right Stuff. Keep spreading the word, my friends. We really do appreciate it. Now be sure to click on our show notes below to follow our link tree for a full list of all the channels we stream on, as well as all of our sites and social media platforms. And if you'd like to donate to My Right Stuff, please follow our support link. Every single dollar helps support My Right Stuff crew who make all of this possible. And of course, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as the podcast channel of your choice so you never miss a single episode. And after this episode, please head on over to myrightstuff.com, click on the store to pick up some snazzy merch for those bodies. Which would make an ideal present for your nearest and dearest. So get them now. And before we get started on today's episode, I'd like to introduce my distinguished co-host, the man who packed Santa's jetpack, Sir Gareth Dyton. Hey, Gareth, how's the Christmas season treating you over there in Wales?
Very, very well, Toby. I would like to take this chance to say to you and to all of our viewers, Nadolig Llywyn, a Bleddyn Newydd Dda, which of course is Welsh for Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's excellent. Thank you. I'm sure all of our guests will appreciate that. So
Yes,
today is really special, Gareth, because we have this very special episode. We'll answer some of the questions from our viewers that we've gotten in our email. We'll also have some cameo appearances from a couple of past guests, as I mentioned earlier. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to meet our production staff and get to know a little bit more about these little exceptional peeps that hang out with us. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice, warm welcome to the production staff of My Right Stuff. Welcome, staff. How are you guys?
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Merry Christmas. Happy
Nice.
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Well, as you can tell, I have a unicorn
So nice to see you dressed down.
and a very grumpy production media person.
Ah,
What's going on, Grump and Lump?
We just want to wish everybody a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas.
Really, okay. And Grumpy, you look rather festive today. How's it going over there?
Oh, it's going great. I just put up my pop-up Christmas tree. So
Sweet.
I got very festive after
Nice.
going to New York City yesterday and looking at the tree and watching the Rockettes.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm putting up
Nice.
my staff for the Rockettes. There you go. All right, cool. Ta-da. Oh, look, you have a wiggler too. All right. So anyway,
Mine's just floppy.
you just got a floppy one. Yeah. Well,
I got a floppy one today. Yeah.
well, stuff happens. You know, what are you going to do? So, like I was saying earlier, I think maybe today we're just going to ask some questions, get to know our staff a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and we'll have, some cameo appearances from some past guests. So maybe, maybe Gareth, you'd like to start off the asking of the questions. What do you think?
Indeed, I shall. Well, we had an email from Susan from Glasgow, and she said, I love seeing you guys on screen, but how many of you are there in total who work on the podcast, and how many people are there behind the scenes? Well, we've brought them all out for you, Susan. You can see, obviously, front of house is the Lord of Tobias and myself, and then behind the scenes, we've got Brian the unicorn and Colette the naughty, grumpy elf. I would actually like to say, though, I would actually kind of like sort of to say for kind of legal reasons, that's usually how actually Brian dresses.
That's right.
Pretty close to the truth, yes.
Oh, no, I wilted. Ta-da. Let's make sure we get that going. There we go. Oh, wah.
Age.
Okay, well, that was a good question. How about you, Brian? Would you like to ask a question from our mail grab bag?
Sure, let's see. JP from Singapore asks, hey, Toby, you are a busy guy being a record producer. What gave you the idea to host a podcast?
Ah, very interesting question. Well, thank you, JP. Wah! I'm not going to stand for this. I'm just going to lay down for the whole thing. Okay. Well, now that we got that out of the way. So, JP, how did I get the idea for a podcast? Well, I have a couple of businesses. This podcast being one of them. I also have TAUMMHOMS, which is a sound healing portal, which you might be interested in. And, then there's a record production business. And I thought, well, my goodness, it sure would be nice to have built-in marketing. You're looking at the built-in marketing. So that's why I did this podcast, sir. And to also have my friends, tag off this marketing piece and just go for it, Because marketing is everything.
Certainly is.
Well, Colette, it's your turn to ask a question.
Sure. Raj from Mumbai wanted to know, how do you choose your guests?
Oh, well, Gareth, how do we choose our guests? Let Rob from Mumbai know. Raj, not Rob.
Well, Raj, what we usually do is we normally have a look to see what's going on in the world. We look to see what interesting things are going on and what people we think would be the most interesting to kind of talk to. We then arrange a off-camera kind of meeting where we meet up and we have a chat. And if we feel they've got some exciting things to say and we actually get on with them well and we build up a rapport, then we go ahead and we actually book them. Does actually that sound about right to you, Toby?
That sounds about right, Gareth. And they have to pass and, we need to vet them all very heavily.
We do indeed. And actually, they're kind of looking at Brian. Looking at Brian, vet is the appropriate word.
That's right.
This is why I'm not in charge of vetting.
Well, I got another question out of the mail grab bag for Brian. Tom G wants to know, what is Brian's job as a producer, and do you book the guests? And if so, why did the German guy say "fuck you," Brian?
Well, because fuck me. Why not? You're looking at my job right here. I get to sit in a unicorn outfit and just watch and go, yep, looks good, guys. Awesome. You're doing a great job. Cool.
Excellent. Well, that's what we would want a unicorn to do.
I don't necessarily
totally,
book guests,
totally.
but I do bring. I go after people that we're maybe interested in different various, whether it be sports, or we have in the new year somebody from tech. The eVTOL out of Israel, the electric airplane.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's gonna be awesome. So, yeah, I go after some cool things that like you, Gareth, or myself, or Colette were interested in.
I want one.
And
right.
Yeah, and yes, people that we think will be interesting or inspiring.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yep.
So run them across everybody, and then we go after them. See if we can get them.
We certainly do.
And the German guy, Daniel Herdman.
Yes.
We've known him forever, and that was just it's an inside joke. Just fuck you, Brian. So, because why not? I mean, I'm here for everybody. If you're in a bad mood, just, knock me around. I can take it. It's all good. Fuck you.
Oh.
No, it's all in fun.
Poor little unicorn.
That's right.
I know. I have PTSD now from being yelled at so much, but yeah, that's about it. That's my job.
Well, that's pretty interesting. A unicorn on my staff. Cool. Wow.
That's right. So I have a question for Gareth.
Oh, yes. Bring it.
Ooh, far away.
Cool. Yeah. So Matt from Brooklyn, New York. Have you ever been to the U.S.? If so, how does the food differ from Wales? Also, what is your favorite food to eat in Wales? That's interesting. I'd like to know that too.
That's a very interesting question. Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much for asking. I've not been to the US as of yet. And not yet. And although I'm sure that will happen at some stage. So actually you guys can kind of look out. Also, what is my favorite food to eat in Wales? Well, obviously in Wales we have lots of kind of regional delicacies. I would argue that our lamb is actually the best in this sort of entire world. I'm sure there'd be some farmers around the place that would kind of sort of agree with me. But we've got really good cheeses, we've got really good seafood, we've got really good kind of local kind of delicacies. So yeah, I'd probably have to say Welsh salt marsh lamb is probably my favourite Welsh food to eat.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
It's very, very yummy. It is hands down the best lamb you'll ever buy in the world.
Sweet. Well, what makes it the best?
I just think that the way that the kind of we have such a range of flora and fauna here. We've got seasides, we've got coast, we've got mountains, and we've got everything kind of in like sort of between it. So that the sheep have like a very varied diet to eat. We've also got our own kind of microclimates around the place as well. So the actual salt marsh lamb, they kind of eat on kind of samphire and herbs. So the meat is like that kind of a natural flavors kind of running through it that you actually wouldn't get anywhere else in the world.
That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to come over just to try it.
Please do.
All right.
I've got a question for. Question is for. Let me have a look through the bag. Right, it's a question from Mary Saunders from Northern California, and they'd like to ask: when you're producing a band, how important is it to have the whole band record as a whole together in one room, rather than mixing their kind of individual kind of parts? Is it better at kind of capturing the band vibe?
Is that a question for me or Colette?
That's for you. I'm not a producer or recording engineer.
For you.
Oh man, I should probably answer that one then. For me, well, for me, I think it's better to have the band record all in one room, all at the same time to catch that live vibe. I think music is best recorded, in a live setting instead of by a grid, by machines and all that kind of things that happen to square it up. I'm a big fan of the live music, and I love concerts and just love going and seeing people actually play their instruments. And when that happens in the studio for me, I get very excited, and we make some great music. And thanks for asking, by the way.
That was Merle Saunders from Northern California.
Oh, thank you, Merle. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did I not read it properly?
So I have a question regarding Yes, I have a question regarding one of our latest episodes with TAUMMHOMS.
Okay.
Pat in Massapequa, New York, is having trouble finding the right level to play TAUMMHOMS. Can you demonstrate?
The right level to play TAUMMHOMS. Meaning volume-wise, or where should she put it in the room, or like...
Well, maybe a little bit of both. I didn't know there was so much involved.
Well, Pat from Massapequa, thank you very much for the question. Can I demonstrate? Well, I'd have to come over to your house to actually demonstrate. But in lieu of that...
You've actually been told about that before.
I have, and I got chased out of the back door. I'm not going to say why, but went to demonstrate, and all hell broke loose. Not sure what happened, but anyway, Pat. So what happens is, you can set you can set this through your phone, okay, and then you can play it through a Bluetooth speaker. And if you're one of those people that likes to listen to things when they go to sleep, like your television or something like that, then you might want to keep it just a little bit lower in volume than your television would be. It's going to be a very subliminal type of thing that you should just put just so you can hear it. And it's too loud when you can't go to sleep, or it starts causing you a little bit of anxiety feeling. Then it's way too loud. So turn it down about halfway from there, and that should be a good level.
Cool.
I hope that answers her question.
It's a good question.
Yes.
Your turn to dip in the mailbag, Toby.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Okay. I got myself a good question. All right. So this one, let's see. This one is going to be from Kyle from Syracuse, New York, and he wants to know, do you guys have any nicknames? Gareth?
I do. Well, my nickname is Chunky because I'm a large gentleman. I'm 6'2", and I'm quite a wide gentleman. Many years ago, I used to be a lot heavier than I am now, and I lost a great deal of weight. And one of my friends, Andrew, turned around to me and said, "Good God, mate, if actually," I think it started being something like, kind of regardless of actually how much weight I lost, I would basically still be a chunky man. So then I was referred to as Chunky Man, and then it went from Chunky Man to Chunky, and that kind of stuck. And that was about 20 years ago. So yeah, so I've been called a Chunky for quite some time, and that's where the origin of that name comes from.
Congratulations, Chunky.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How about you, Brian?
I have a horrid nickname because of my small stature. Originally, my friends called me Flea, but of course, we know that was taken. Right. So then they changed it to Keeb.
Keeb? What does that stand for?
Keebler Elf. Yep.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
That's fabulous, but yes, and it stuck, unfortunately.
All right, Keeb. We'll have to remember that.
Yes. Yeah. That was better than I'll take. Well, Flea would have been good, but unfortunately that's taken. But then, at first, then it was Smurf. Yeah. But I guess since we decided Keeb was much better, and that kind of stuck. So I wasn't a fan of that one, but I embrace it now.
That's perfect. That's perfect. How about you, Colette?
Oh boy, nicknames. I don't really have any like from, just running into people and everything. I have family ones. I was dubbed Aunt Colada by the Galliados, and I am known to my nephew, younger cousin Luke, as Aunt Cat Cat.
All right.
No, I don't have any other nicknames. Those are about it.
Okay.
Toby?
Fair enough.
Yeah, what about you, Toby?
Yeah, come on, Toby.
I
What
have
about
a
you?
couple. One I can remember that was given to me by the boys in Dawkin. It was Spud. Why? I forget. I don't know. We can ask Jeff Pilson. He remembers, I'm sure. Let's see. Another one is Rage. That was given to me by the Metallica crew. While recording Injustice for All, it could have been for a whole number of reasons. Let's see. We have, there's about 4 or 5 more that Alice in Chains gave me. So I kind of get a nickname, like with bands that I work with. So, whatever is fitting to the moment, I like to be called that.
Yeah.
Rage.
Why are you shaking your head?
Nice.
What?
Rage is awesome, though. You embrace that rage. I'm Rage.
Yeah, rage. I'm rage. I'm bringing the rage. I'm rage,
That's right.
motherfuckers. That's right.
You get to embrace rage.
You actually should own that shit, totally.
Yeah.
All right. My new name is Lord.
You actually
Toby Rage, right?
Lord Toby Rage, right.
Load Rage. I mean, what a name is that?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It actually
How about just Lord
actually
Rage,
makes you sound like you should be a Load Rage. Actually makes you sound like you should be a fucking Avenger or something.
All right. I think that's next year. I'm going to go by that moniker. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
here, Toby, since you were talking about some past artists, there's Kira from Huntsville, asked, who is your favorite artist you have ever worked with, and who is your least favorite? And you can elaborate on why, too, if you feel the need to. But
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. I'm going to start off with the least favorite artist that I've ever worked with. I'll name them too. Fuck it. They're a band called Human Abstract. I call them Human Ab Crap. They're just really horrible band that was, and they probably are no more because that's how good they were. Anyway, they were my least favorite because they just had no clue as to what they were doing, and it was just a fiasco of clusterfuck. So, yeah, I split. See ya. So anyway, that was that one. The best one, I don't know. There's a few that have a lot of. There's a toss up between a few of them. Like I can go between Chris Whitley, one of my faves forever. Alice, of course, one of my faves forever. Metallica, for sure. I don't know. Like, it's just a big toss up from there because I had so much fun and learned so much from all 3 of those bands that, it just stuck with me forever. Right. So I think I'm going to stick with the trisome of those 3 as my answer. And then that one. See ya.
what was it called? Human Excrement? What was it?
Human Excrement. Exactly. Right. So yeah, James Musshorn from Santa Monica, California wants to know what studio did you record Human Crapstract in? And that would be the Red Bull Studios with you, buddy. So thanks. Sorry, just had to elaborate a little more.
That's fine.
I have a really cool question that I'm dying to ask Gareth.
Excellent.
By the way.
Bring it on.
So Scotty B from Orlando, Florida wants to know,
Yep.
well, he says that dude Gareth seems to be a bit of an oddball. He wants to know what's the craziest thing he ever did and would he do it again? And he also makes a comment, if anyone would know, it would be Gareth. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
How much? What? A Tootsie Roll Pop. Wow. I don't even know what one of those is.
You don't
I
have
don't know
Oh,
what
you don't
a Tootsie Roll is.
a Tootsie Roll
No.
Pop. So you have
No,
to lick
never seen one.
the lollipop to get to the inside
Right.
of the Tootsie Roll of the
Right,
lollipop.
okay.
So it's
I
an
guess
American
I'll
thing,
say-
I guess.
Yeah, I'd say 700 licks, probably.
Go
It's
get
an
'em, Gareth.
educated guess.
And with regards to kind of freaky stuff, yeah, we partied, and we partied very, very hard. Funny enough, I was talking to my friend Jamie on Friday, and we were talking about some previous things that we've done, and we kind of asked each other, well, kind of would you sort of do them again? And it would be more a case of, could you do them again? And it would probably kill us these days,
Right.
to be honest. So yeah, we had lots of fun. We actually went around lots of different festivals, lots of concerts, lots of raves that happened here in actually kind of the UK. And we partied very, very hard. I can't really go into a lot of kind of specified stories because I'd have to consult the people involved about it. Although there was one time we went to see David Bowie at a festival, and 15 of us piled into a rented works van. We put a wall of black plastic bags up, just like sort of behind the seats, so if kind of anybody overtook us, they couldn't see kind of inside the van. And we kind of stopped at the services, and we opened the back, and just loads of empty bottles and smoke just kind of billowed out of the back, and there was all these horrified looking families around us just wondering what the fuck had just landed, basically. But effectively, yeah, we saw it was a 4-day festival. We saw David Bowie twice in 3 days, actually, like sort of including kind of a drum and bass set at a dance tent. And it was just
Sweet.
It was just kind of very, very narcissistic and very kind of hedonistic. And if I had to relive that like sort of weekend, I'd probably end up losing a kidney or a liver or something these days. I genuinely don't think I could repeat it, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you, Scotty. I can answer part of your question, and the other bit I made up because I haven't got a clue what the fuck you're talking about.
Attaboy, attaboy. Excellent.
So let's have a look. I was going to look
Here's
in the
one.
mailbag. So you go
Yeah.
one ready? Yeah, fire away.
I think this
Right
is
away.
from everybody. I think it's for everybody. It says Ian
Yeah.
from Leeds in the UK. He asks, if you could go on a date with any musician or celebrity, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Gareth?
What?
I got to think about that one. Let me
We
think.
move to Toby.
To tell.
David Bowie?
David Bowie.
I would certainly like to. I'd have a job these days, bless him. But kind of, I actually think he'd definitely be someone who you'd want to sit down and have a chat with. If it was more in a kind of a date, I'd probably have to say Eva Green, because I think she's a very, very interesting lady and very easy on the eye as well.
Okay.
Colette?
I like it. I like
So what
it.
about you? So what about you, Colette?
Oh boy, that's really
Yeah, on the
hard.
spot now. Yeah.
I know. Well, I mean, some of my favorite singers, I probably would have no problem spending an evening with them, like Bono.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to cringe now, but all the men have to
Actually
do
recoiling
is
it.
breathe, and he's got me.
Yeah.
But maybe
about
like
Sammy?
yeah, but like maybe like Paul McCartney. I think that would be a great date, or at least an interesting one, informative.
I bet he's got some great stories.
One of the mighty ones. Yeah, exactly. Can't go wrong with a Beatle.
True
There's only
that.
2 of them left now, so you better be quick. Yeah.
Set it up, Gareth. Hook me up.
Right, okay. I'll actually like to give him a tweet when we finished, okay?
What about you, Brian?
What about you, B? Yeah, come on, Bright.
Well, I guess if we're talking date with the prospects of happy endings, that would have.
Who said anything about that?
I did.
Guys always go for the,
I
the
would
squeeze.
say, let's see, my hall pass would have to always be Kate Beckinsale.
My hall
Good
pass.
choice.
That's Kate Beckinsale.
Good choice.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. You're on spot now,
Well,
T.
there's only one left.
I
Toby?
know, and I'm trying to think of what would make the best kind of a date. I don't know. I'm not really into celebrities and things like that, but I think what would be a fun date would be like a Britney Spears. Because, we would do some crazy things together, I'm sure. Like we all know that she's a little bit crazy. So I'm a lot bit crazy. So, that could work. Jumping out of planes or driving fast cars or something crazy,
Happy ending.
Maybe a happy ending. You never know.
Oh, no, that's definite. Happy ending.
Oh, okay, sure. No problem. Bring it on. I'll be happy. So, that would be fun. But maybe on more serious side, I'd have to go for like an evening with Mick Jagger or something, just to hang out and, it doesn't have to be a date, does it?
That'd be a happy ending too, probably, though.
You never know.
You never know.
David Bowie.
David
Again.
Bowie, Mick Jagger.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, I would just be happy, to hang out with somebody like that, and just have a lot of fun. I'm all about the fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so wait a minute, Gareth. I got one for you. I think I reached in the bag, and Donnie from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He wants to know if you, Gareth, you've ever visited any of the places that have been displayed on your green screen.
Well, obviously today I'm in Santa's workshop, and I have actually been to Lapland and Finland. So I did actually go to a big Santa thing. I actually took my daughter when she was 5 many years ago. It was lots of fun. It was fucking cold, minus 15. It's the coldest place I've ever been to. But it was certainly worth it. The other places I've had behind me on the green screen, well, I've only had Hoth behind me as a green screen, and so far, so I'm really sorry to kind of burst that myth, but I haven't been to Hoth. I know plenty of middle-aged men who would really like to go to Hoth, but I haven't as of yet.
Right. Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. So far, that's kind of 50-50 then. So yes and no.
Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
Who's next?
Well, I've got one for Toby. But you go, Brian.
Well, this is both. This is a question, says it's for Toby and Gareth. So,
okay.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Spanky, of all people, from PA. Thank you, Spanky. What are your favorite things to do off camera?
Wow. You want to go first, Gareth?
Do you want to go first? Yeah, I like to watch film.
Sure.
I actually like to watch films. I'm actually quite a big film buff. I spend quite a lot of time watching films. Obviously, going to live concerts. Obviously, kind of listening to new music. I do that a lot. I cook a lot as well. I'm actually not a bad chef. I kind of won't win any kind of Michelin stars, but I'll feed you good, and that's kind of all kind of you need, really. What else? I like traveling. I like kind of seeing the world from different angles. I like walking up mountains as well. So, lots of variety there.
That's fabulous, dude. Oh, I like all of the above as well. I like to drink coffee. Yeah. Oh my God, do I ever? And I like all the outdoor sports as well. Love, anything pretty much adventurous I'm into. Things that are fast, I'm into those. Things I'm an adrenaline junkie. Hey.
Adrenaline junkie.
Yes, sir. But, I'm also into quiet evenings and learning and, that kind of a thing too, as converse, so, a little bit outside, a little bit inside, and a little bit of just me.
Yeah. Fair comment.
So that's my answer. Well, let's ask a production crew. Brian, same question.
totally,
What
yeah.
are your favorite things to do off camera?
Oh, well, I live here in Mobile, Alabama I have a horse rescue and farm. So my free
Oh,
time is spent
Cool.
with horses and cows and goats and chickens and turkeys and guineas and everything else under the sun, and like 6 rescue dogs. And so it's a mini zoo here. So they take up most of my free time.
that's pretty fabulous.
Yeah, they're wonderful. They're like my therapist. So it's a beautiful thing.
That is pretty cool. And what about
That's
you,
very
Colette?
cool.
Well, I also love animals, so I love being around animals, especially my cat Patso. But as far as doing things, traveling is my favorite. When I have the money to do it, I will be traveling somewhere. I just feel like it always changes your perspective if you just get out of your little environment. So I love traveling, and I love spending quality time with the people I love.
Nice.
Sounds good. Nice to know.
Hey, Toby, here's
Nice
a
to know.
very interesting, very specific technical question from Dean in Santa Rosa.
Dean in Santa Rosa. Yes,
He's
bring
an
it.
amateur recreational rock guitar player who is having an alembic guitar built. He wants to know if Toby would recommend using all their non-forgiving, extremely clean, high-end electronics, or if you would choose something like a Seymour Duncan distortion humbucker or what.
Wow. What kind of music does he play?
Does not say.
Rock, I think, isn't it?
Okay.
It says that he's a rock guitarist.
Oh, it does say.
He
Oh,
likes
yes, it
rock.
does say amateur record. I did say that.
Yeah.
Rock. Yes, rock.
Oh, he's a rock guitarist. Well, I might
Yeah.
I might put both in there just so I had the variety. I might carve out a little extra hole for that Seymour Duncan because, you never know when you're going to have to bring the rock, and if it's all too clean, it just might not go over too big, but you can always add a humbucker. So,
Nice.
and a humbucker and a pedal if you'd like. So there's always that. I hope that answered your question.
Cool.
Certainly does.
Those are great
I've got a
guitars, by
question.
the way, the Olympics.
I got a
Sorry,
question
go ahead,
from
Gareth.
Michelle. Sorry, I got a question from Michelle in Atlanta, and she says, "What do you consider to be your strongest characteristic, and do you have any weaknesses that you're actively working to improve on?" And I suppose this is something that all 4 of us could answer.
I think so too.
Ooh, that's deep.
We'll start with you, Brian.
Oh, great. Oh, a deep question. Best characteristic. Best characteristic. I am fairly calm and easygoing. I don't let a lot of things get to me. So I'm fiercely loyal. That might be number 1. Loyalty.
Okay.
What was the other part? Oh, what you're working on?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
have
your
any
weakness.
weaknesses?
Do you have any
you're working on?
weaknesses?
How much time do we have?
Okay, we're out of time. Thank you very much for playing.
I can make you a list. I can make you a list a mile long of the weaknesses. I don't know. I mean, there's just so many things that I don't know everything. I try to work on even things that you consider to be your strengths you can still always work on them. So, I mean, they're all,
Sure.
I consider everything a work in progress, no matter what. So I would just say I'm working on everything about me. Be a better person, or the best person you can possibly be.
All of the above.
That's a fair response. Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
what about-
Colette?
Yeah, Colette next, I think.
Yeah, this is a really hard question. I have so many strong qualities, but I will pick one.
Just one.
I would
Modesty?
say that I am relentless. I am totally relentless. I do not ever give up. And sometimes it's a hindrance. It's not always a good thing, but that is my strongest, I believe. And as far as weaknesses, there's a long list of that too. But one that I'm working on right now is trying to calm my temper a little bit. But I'm Italian, so we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Gareth?
What about you, T? Oh, do you want to, what?
Oh, you want me to go first? I will. You can be
go on.
last.
That's all
And
right.
if you're not first, you're last. Remember that.
Always.
And that's one of my strengths is being first. Because I don't want to be last, That just sucks.
Fair enough. I can take
And
that.
as far as the weakness, being last. That's the weakness. Like, figure that out. Shit, gotta go. No, just kidding. So, I guess my strengths would be just being an awesome person that I am. But that's not right either. Strengths. Weakness, there's many. As Brian said, there's many. And I'm human. That's my weakness. So, when I get that AI chip put in, I think it's coming a couple hours, then my weaknesses will slowly disappear because, they'll take the humanness out, put the, AI in, and we'll be all good. So I won't have any weaknesses. As far as my strengths right now, being human, I think, funny. No, not funny.
Yes, you are.
I like to celebrate Christmas. No, that's not it. I like birthdays. No, I don't like those either.
Oh my.
Spinach. I like No, don't like spinach. Liver. I like No, don't like liver. Fuck. I guess I don't have any strengths except for, hanging out with you guys. Thanks for being my rock.
Aw.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. That's very sweet of you.
Don't let him fool you. He's got a lot of strengths. He's just too shy to tell them.
Wait, let's look. Oh, there it is. There's a strength. Oh, couldn't see it because of the background. Oh well.
That's a shame.
Go on then, Gareth. It's your turn to divulge all of your strengths and weaknesses, please, sir.
I think I have excellent taste in music.
Put that back in your pants. Put that back in your pants first.
Oh,
Okay.
Toby, you promised.
Ew.
Oh boy. We haven't even got to the eggnog yet.
We haven't even got to eggnog yet. I think I've got a very good kind of sense of kind of musical taste. I know what I like and I like what I know. I've got quite a good sense of justice and fairness. And with regards to weakness, I think, as kind of human beings, I think we all see things that we could change and improve on like a fairly regular basis. But I think it's important you actually don't get bogged down by that, because what may bother you today may not bother you tomorrow. And I think what Brian said about actually being the best person that you can be at any given time is a very good mantra to live your life by. So all hail Brian.
Hail Brian. That's Sir Brian
Yes.
to you.
Sir Brian.
My modesty will forbid me to say I am godlike, so I will take that praise. My modesty
Very
and
nice.
He's subtle as well, isn't he?
Here's a question for Gareth while you're talking, Gareth. It's on mic. Kelly from Jacksonville. She said, I've heard that concerts in Wales differ from the U.S. as far as the mix of artists and genres that play at festivals. So can you tell us more about that?
I don't think that's uniquely a Welsh thing. I think that's a UK and kind of Europe-wide thing. There are a couple of festivals that will only play like rock music. For example, there's Download and Bloodstock. There's also kind of some like sort of dance music some like kind of dance sort of music festivals that will only have kind of dance music on them, or kind of techno and house and stuff like that. But largely, there's usually quite a great deal of sort of variety in actually the kind of festival bills. I went to a festival in Wales this year called Green Man Festival. There was rock bands on the bill, there was industrial bands on the bill, there was hip hop on the bill, there was trip hop, there was techno, there was electronic, there was folk, there was punk. there was lots and lots of different things going on, and I think that's pretty normal to us. We actually kind of expect that from a festival, and I think that that's kind of pretty much what you kind of expect if you actually go to a festival in actually the UK or sort of Europe, really.
Yeah, I love the fact in UK you can go to a festival and listen to Massive Attack, say, and the next band on is Slipknot.
Yeah.
The crowd is still all there and still all cheering.
That's right. Yeah, totally.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah, superb. It really is superb. And that's the thing. You actually kind of learn more about music and kind of what like sort of your tastes are that way. And I know that basically I actually came back from Green Man seeing bands that I really like and really love, like Mogwai and things like that. But yet I kind of came across new bands that I hadn't heard before. So I've got this whole new kind of range of kind of new bands to kind of go away and kind of read about. And it was absolutely superb.
Awesome.
It's fabulous. I like it.
I got a cool question.
Fire away.
Okay.
Steve from Vancouver wants to know, he said, a lot of your guests, you ask them what your hidden talents or their special powers that they have. What
Right.
about you guys?
Uh-oh. Here we go. We got to reveal, Gareth.
We're actually in trouble now. Not actually that kind of reveal.
Okay. One of my superpowers that Gareth mentioned earlier about one of his superpowers is also it's cooking. I'm a pretty good cook. I can cook the heck out of some food. I love to eat. It's good. That's not my superpower, though. My superpower is being able to see colors.
Wow.
When I talk to you.
That's proper superpower.
I'm
That's
going to leave it
awesome.
at that.
Yeah. Nice.
It's an interesting superpower to have, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also translates to music.
Yeah.
So when somebody wants it more blue, more green, more yellow, well, I can almost translate that, but sometimes it's difficult without another sentence to follow up.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you, G?
Well, I don't have any superpowers from that perspective. But like I said, I am a pretty decent cook. I can knock you up something very tasty. I have quite a high chili heat tolerance level that I've worked on throughout a lot of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I do like it very spicy. I don't think. I actually used to make my own beer. There you go.
Ah,
Yeah, for a while I was brewing.
okay. I like it.
I was brewing beer in my spare room. There was like there was always either one or two different beers on the go, whether it would be a red ale or an IPA, or there was mainly what I made. I actually made a Christmas beer one year that was made from pears and ginger and cinnamon.
Oh, how'd that come out?
Strong. I made
Good.
I made a double IPA once that was about 9.5% a pint, and I dropped a bottle of it off to one of my friends, and him and the band he was in drunk it. Actually, they actually did like a gig locally. They finished the gig. They actually drank the beer between them, and he actually told me that basically he was so drunk that he bought his cat a McDonald's on the way home.
That's awesome.
So I suppose my actual superpower is I can make people extremely drunk and their cats very badly fed.
That's fabulous.
Woo!
It was like rocket fuel. It
All
really was.
right.
Yeah.
I like it. That's pretty good. I like it. Well, you have to teach me how to make some beer someday, Gareth, because I like it sometimes.
Yes, I do like beer. Well, picking up on that, Jose from Guadalupe, he's basically written in to ask, how do we know what questions to ask?
That's actually a good question. How do you know what questions to ask? Well, I guess, is this for me or is this for
I think it's
like Brian?
I think it's for all of us, because whenever we have guests on, we usually formulate questions between us. So we all go off and do our little bits of research,
Yes, we do.
and then we kind of get together online to kind of work out where we're going to go with things. So, so I think it's something that kind of all of us can contribute towards.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. I think that it depends on the guest and what they're into, and then what line of questioning do we want to ask them about. You'll notice when we talk to Ken Morris from General Motors, for instance, which is coming up in the beginning of the year, he will talk about some things that are new for General Motors. Whereas, when we talk to Frame 42, they don't know about General Motors, so they're going to talk about music and things like that. So it's really an interesting dichotomy of guests. We always like to have, a bunch of different guests on because we have a lot of different interests. And so we can just keep a variety show going and your interest as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And I think here to just continue on that same sort of vibe, Drew from Cincinnati wants to know, what is the strangest question you have ever been asked in an interview?
That one. Let's see. I'm going to have to think about that one for a minute. Gareth?
I think I can say that goes actually to Scotty, who asked me how many licks in a Tootsie Roll earlier, because I have no idea what actually a Tootsie Roll is, so I can't answer it.
Okay, well, you're going to have to find out. I'm sure someone will send you one, so then you can do the research.
I can actually do the research, and I'll I'll actually sort of let you know in actually a future episode.
And a 1, and a 2,
two,
and a 3.
I'll have a pen, and I'll be marking each lick down as I do it.
Exactly. So, I don't know. For me, let's see, the strangest question I've been asked a lot of questions in a lot of different ways about a lot of different people. What was the strangest question that I've ever been asked? I don't know, really. I've been asked so many weird questions. Let's come back to that one.
Okay.
I'll think about it. We'll come back to that one.
Okay. Well,
because there's been a lot, so I got to pick the right one. Go ahead.
Well, in the vein of odd questions, Jean, or I suppose it's Jean from France, is asking, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? And this goes out to all of us.
Wow. How about you, Brian?
Yeah.
Would you be a unicorn?
I don't know why. I've always had this strange fascination, attraction, whatever, to Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's very
interesting.
Always had a strange kind of fascination with them.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Colette?
I think I would be a dolphin.
Right.
Because I love the water and everybody loves dolphins.
Okay.
And you actually also,
that's a good reason.
And you actually sort of eat a great deal of tuna. So,
Or
I'm going to have to go with an owl because they can fly, which I'd love to be able to fly, and they're smart. That's a no-brainer.
I think for me, it would be kind of a lion, but not like one of the young, sleek-looking lions, like one of the older, mangy-looking lions, someone that's been around and has learned the hard way and kind of knows kind of what he wants out of life, but that's because of experience rather than just being things handed to them on a plate. And yeah, I think I'd be a man.
Okay.
So to answer that question, Jean, I think I would be a mangy lion.
I like it. I like it.
Toby, here, wait. I have a good question here that needs to be asked. Needs to be answered. So Big John from Cardiff wanted to find out, Why did you pick Gareth as a co-host? Well, I don't know if he's asking the question, hey, why did you pick Gareth as co-host? Or why did you pick Gareth as a co-host?
Why? Why on earth did you pick Gareth as a co-host?
Well, we can answer it both ways, right? Why did you pick Gareth as a co-host? Well, he's very appealing. He's well-spoken, and he's got a Welsh accent, of course. I wanted one of those. So maybe that's why. But why on earth did you pick Gareth as a co-host? I can actually say we picked him because he's an awesome human. He loves life. Look at him. Look at him. Look. Oh, it's just so perfect. That's why we picked him.
And he's got an awesome show that he plays the best music on.
Thank you very much.
Well, that goes without saying. Like, I listen to that show every day. He's actually what?
He's actually a very warm and sweet person.
Thank you very much, guys. The actual checks are in the post.
Yeah, to you. And not that fucking way to me.
Well, you get what you give, baby.
You certainly do.
What was my name again? Wow. And the strangest question that I've ever been asked in an interview is, were there 2 dildos in there or just one?
Oh my God. So
wait,
I have to go there with the boys.
Well, that was the question. Well, fuck. Don't ask me that question anymore if you don't want to go there. I'm sorry, Brian.
I've been asking in an interview?
Fuck.
Very disturbing.
Yes, please.
I was asked, when did I come out? I love everybody. I don't care what you are, gay, straight, black, white, whatever. But I'm extremely heterosexual. But apparently, I don't give those vibes off.
Well, look how you're dressed.
All right, enough said. Yeah.
You could have pulled there, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could have, except for your little friend on your head. I got a friend on my head, too. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now we're almost matching.
Oh, boy.
And what about you, Colette?
Oh, God, I'm laughing so much I forgot the question. What was the question?
I think we were answering what's
Seriously?
the strangest question you've ever been asked?
Oh, we're back to that. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, that was one of them. But then there was another one from, where was it from again?
Oh, my God. We're all just laughing too much.
It's just too much fun. So, yeah, answer that question. What's the strangest question you've ever been asked?
Gareth? That was the other question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we answered that one, I think.
We did.
The strangest question I've ever been asked. I remember. I was in Florida. I was in Altamont Springs, Florida. And somebody asked me where Broadway was, like Broadway in New York City. And I was like, I don't know, but I have a feeling you're going to find it. I was like, what? Must have been on something.
I did.
There you go.
I had a very similar experience on Friday. That last week I went to Birmingham, which is about 150 miles away from where I live, and I literally parked the car and walked around walked like sort of around the corner to head to this venue, and these people came up to myself and my friend to ask if we actually knew actually where like sort of the hippodrome was, and it's like we've like kind of literally just kind of got out of the car. And we walked down the street about 50 yards, and there was a big sign up saying hippodrome that way. So they'd actually walked. So it's like sort of they'd seen us park up. They walked past the sign to ask us where the hippodrome was, and had overshot the sign to tell them where the hippodrome was.
That's awesome.
Oh, great.
Well, now I would like to introduce one of our esteemed guests. And they've come all the way from Lapeer, Michigan to join us on this episode of My Right Stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice warm welcome for Frame 42.
Woo!
Hey, My Right Stuff. It's Frame 42. We got a little bit of a Christmas magic for you. Yeah.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. Greasy black heel. You're a one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Seasick crocodile. Naughty, Mr. Grinch, with a nose you super nut. You're a crooked turkey jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. Arsenic stars. Happy holidays from Frame 42.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
That was superb.
Oh, that was cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Frame 42.
Thank you, guys.
Always welcome. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah,
You guys
love
are awesome.
42.
Yes, you're awesome as usual. And the host would like to thank you very, very much and tell you in return, have very, very happy holidays.
The
Thank
dollar Chloe.
you. That's right. So now, Brian, we have another guest. The chime just went off, and I think that it's Stone Senate at the door.
I love
Woo!
I love Stone Senate.
Remember them? They're from a previous episode, and we had them on live from SIR there in Nashville. But they've come back with a little acoustic version of a Christmas song for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's Stone Senate to wish you a very happy and Merry Christmas. Stone Senate.
1, 2, 3. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of beer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you. Is there one for me? Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Merry Christmas, Stone Senate. Woo! Oh yeah. Bring us some beer.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. That was awesome, as always. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you guys. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, gentlemen. And Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. That was a fantastic version. Man, thank you. Happy New Year.
Bled the new with that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, where do we go from here? Production staff? Is that it? Have we reached into our bag of questions and asked them all?
We have reached into every question and we asked every question that was submitted.
Nice.
That's fabulous. All right. Well, you know that, you guys, thank you for an awesome episode. And thank you for all your questions and the staff for all of your answers and playing along for this wonderful holiday episode. You guys are awesome. And thank you so much for all your love and support. You guys, the three of you over there, is what make this thing go round, and I thank you very, very much for that.
Thank you.
I'd like to
Thank
leave you all with this fabulous poem that was written many, many years ago when we were all so much more young and innocent. But thank you all for taking the time to be part of this episode of My Right Stuff. Staff, you're incredible. Thank my guests, Stone Senate and Frame 42, for taking the time to be part of this holiday cheer.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Thank you. Happy holidays. I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you all
You
rock.
and you, all of you, all three of you.
Well, thank you.
That was
You,
great
and
time.
you.
and you, and also even you. Yes, you. Yes, put it down. Yes, you.
That's right.
And I just like to say, before I say my usual no star and good night to everyone, I'd like to say, obviously from me here in Wales, have a very nice Christmas. So I would say to you in Welsh, Nadolig llawen, a bledden newydd dda, and no star to you, my lovelies. Take care, keep rocking, and we'll see you in the new year. Peace out.
Hey, it's Frame 42 wishing you all a happy holidays. We look forward to working with Toby and doing another episode of My Right Stuff in 2022. Happy holidays!
And I'm your host, Lord Toby Wright. And this has been a very, very fun and exciting episode of My Right Stuff. Remember to listen loud, play hard, and keep reaching for your dreams. And thanks for watching. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mom in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, oh Comet, on Cupid, on Dunder and Blitzen, on the top of the porch, on the top of the wall. Now dash away all. As dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys was flying on his back, and he'd look like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all his stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside his nose, and giving up the chimney he rose. He sprung to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like a down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, as he drove through the sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." And thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. Or whichever holiday you celebrate, happy holidays. And have a great new year to one and all. Good night.
Do you suffer from insomnia, depression, or anxiety? Well, our sponsor, TAUMMHOMS, may be able to help you in these areas. TAUMMHOMS, a natural sleep and sound healing portal, helping people globally get to sleep faster and stay asleep for longer, and you can find this piece of gold at www.taumms.com. That's www.taummmhoms.com. Most of all, I'd like to thank all of you beautiful people who stream, download, watch and support My Right Stuff. And please keep spreading the word because we really, really appreciate it. Also, we now have a My Right Stuff store where you can pick up some lovely snazzy merch for those beautiful bodies. Just go to myrightstuff.com and click on the store tab. And don't forget to tag us in any photos of the merch so we can include you in a future episode. Please also be sure to subscribe to the podcast channel of your choice, as well as our YouTube channel. Toby says it'll give you 10 years good luck. I'm not so sure. I think it's maybe more. This has been another amazing episode of My Right Stuff, and please be sure to tune in this week, next week, and every week for yet another adventurous and informative show. I'm your co-host, Sir Gareth Dyton, and thank you, my lovelies, for tuning in. No star, you beautiful people, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching My Right Stuff. This episode was brought to you by TAUMMHOMS, a natural sleep and sound healing portal available globally at www.taumms.com. That's www.taummmhoms.com.